Hey guys, just doing a short little video on ice, heat, and when to use both. So first, I'm going to talk about ice. Ice is going to be great for new injuries. So if you're 0, so that day, to 3, up to 72 hours later, days post-injury, ice is going to be your modality of choice. Ice interrupts the pain pathway to the brain, so it's going to make the injury a little bit less painful. The other thing that I'm going to recommend if you're at that stage of an injury is rest. So rest is going to be super important for those tissues to help them heal post-injury. So ice, days 0 to 3 or 0 hours to 72 hours after the injury. The other thing ice is good for is it's great for if you have a swollen disc that you feel in your back. Any type of back pain, if you're putting something over top of your spine, you want to use ice because heat can cause different types of changes, inflammatory changes in there, and that can cause pain and pressure. So what we're gonna recommend is that you put ice over top of the bony areas of the spine. The next thing I'm going to talk about is heat. When do you use heat? I would use heat for any muscular sort of injury. So like if you feel like you have an old injury that's muscular in nature, off to the side of the spine, in your arm, in your leg, a lot of people get hamstrings, residual stuff with that. That's when you're wanting to use heat. Heat brings blood flow to an area, it helps it loosen up, and it's gonna make everything feel looser and like you can move a little bit more easily in the area that you're putting heat on. I don't recommend putting heat over the spine. It can bring irritation to the areas of the spine, the discs there. So I always recommend off to the side. As a general rule, ice isn't going to make you worse, but heat could. And so if you're ever debating back and forth, I would say use ice. If you find that one is uncomfortable, use the other and just experiment and see how you feel. Over top of bigger joints that have both muscle and bone, like your shoulder or your hip, I would recommend that you alternate 20 minutes ice, 20 minutes heat, back and forth, and then end what you started with. So start with ice and end with ice. My recommendations for people are 20 minutes on and 40 minutes off, but use your best judgment, monitor the area closely, make sure you're wrapping up the ice and the heat in at least a paper towel, if not something a little bit thicker depending on how hot or cold something is, because these can both potentially cause burns. They don't typically, but if you wrap them up, you are even less likely to have something like that happen. Again, 20 minutes on, 40 minutes off, and those are the recommendations. We hope that you find all of the information on the channel helpful. If you do, go ahead and subscribe and like the videos that you like the most. Between the health topics and the Women in Wellness Wednesdays and the stretches, there's really something here that can benefit everyone. And if there's a health topic or a stretch that you want me to cover and help with, let me know in the comments and I will get to that as soon as I can.